Yep.
Okay.
I got him.
All right, ladies.
Hi, Miss Barrows, and we're welcome to have you here. I hope you enjoy your time.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad to see you.
My name is Archie, and we will start by asking you questions. We are a fan of your books, and we love them.
Okay. All righty. And Michelle, that is your cue, dear.
Well, hi, my name is Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
You
Hi,
can see
Michelle.
me over there, over here. Well, my question is, where did you get your inspiration for your books?
Well, do you mean particularly the Magic Half and Magic in the Mix?
Yes.
Okay. Well, now you see that I'm wearing glasses right now. Can you see that? I don't usually wear glasses because I like what I think I'm seeing much better than what's really there. And so, but I can't really see very well without glasses, right? So one day and I mean, this is a day when I was really quite a grown-up, like I was in my 40s, okay? So one day I was wandering around my house without my glasses on, meaning I couldn't see very well. And I went to my back window, which was right there, and I looked out in my backyard and I saw something glinting in the backyard. Does this sound familiar to you maybe a little bit, the glinting bit? Okay, I saw something glinting in my backyard and I thought, oh, finally, it's magic. It's a window to another world. And I ran out into the backyard and it was ajar. And I was so unbelievably disappointed. I was really surprised at myself because, as I say, I was in my 40s when this happened. And I was so unbelievably painfully broken that it wasn't magic. And I realized, Annie Barrows, you are being a big doofus, because everybody knows that if magic is going to happen, it's going to happen to a kid. It's not going to happen to a grown-up. And basically, you have now passed the threshold. You're done. It's not going to happen. So I thought, how can I get over this problem? And the answer was, I'll write a book about magic, and maybe that will help me get over it. So that's what I did.
Thank you. All right, next question.
Who do we have?
Carmen, she's waving.
Okay, let me get to Carmen. Let me find Carmen. Carmen. Oh, hi, Carmen.
Hello, my name is Carmen, and my question is going to be, what do you think makes a good story?
Oh, this is a big one. Well, what do I think makes a good story? Well, okay, well, you want to know a really terrible answer to that question? A good reader, but forget that. That's a terrible answer. I think a good story really has so much to do with character, because if you love a character, that character can sit on a bus and, you know, look at a dust bunny, and that will be interesting if you love that character. So if you have a well-written character, a character that your readers care about, you can do anything. It's a great story. I've always told my children, my own daughters, that the most fascinating, unbelievable incident in the world can be incredibly boring, and the most boring 45 minutes of your life can be fascinating. It just depends on how you tell it.
Awesome. What a great answer. Both of them.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, next question, please.
Who do we have?
This is going to be Bella.
Bella, I'm so sorry, Bella, about your name. Hang on just a second. Let me find you.
We love that.
Bella,
There she is.
Please accept my apologies for thinking you're.
It's okay.
Okay, what's your question, dear?
It's basically two.
Okay, go ahead.
How long does it typically take you to write a book?
Do you want me to answer that piece first? Okay. Well, it really, really, really depends upon the book. This book here, here's what happened. as I just told you, I felt like I had to console myself for my lack of magic by writing this story. But I wrote the first 40 pages of this book, and I thought then I had to go write an Ivy and Bean book. You know, I also write those books, right? So I went off and I wrote an Ivy and Bean book. And one day I was busy in my office, which is where we are right now. And my older daughter, who was at that point maybe 8 or 9, came into the room and picked up the first 40 pages of The Magic Half. And she read them sitting right there. And then she said, so where's the rest of it? Like, she was looking around my office, like, okay, cough it up. I want the rest of the story. And I said, oh, well, I just put that down. I haven't. It's been months since I wrote that. There isn't any more. And she got so mad at me that I wrote the rest of the book, basically, so that she would stop griping at me. So in that case, this book took, 3 months, 8 months off, and another 8 months to write. So there was a big gap in the middle. But every time you write a book, or every time I write a book anyway, I write the book, and then, you know, I get finished with that book, and I think I am a complete genius. I think it's the best book in the world. I know this isn't correct, so I put it away for a while, and then I take it out and read it again, and I think, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I better rewrite this. So all of my books have these long gaps in them where nothing's happening. They're just sitting in a drawer and I'm not looking at them, because that's how you can see with fresh eyes. And when you see with fresh eyes, you realize you have to rewrite the darn thing.
Oh, awesome. And Bella, I think she answered the second part of that question, didn't she?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, she did.
So, how long did it take you to write The Magic in the Mix?
Oh, Magic in the Mix. Well, there's a tricky one. Okay, I did not intend to write that story, but one night I had a dream. Okay, Miri and Molly were standing out on this branch, and they both stepped off it at the same time and looked back at me in the dream. And looked back at me, and they were standing in the air, but they weren't. They were just standing there, and they looked back at me really accusingly. Like, what's the matter? Why aren't you writing about us? And I thought, I woke up and it was like, gosh, I guess I better, they want me to write about them. And there's something going on with a floor that I can't see. So that was the beginning of that book. And then it took me maybe a year, because again, I had to write other stuff in between.
Oh, so cool. Great. Okay, so our next question.
What do we got? Tell me who.
Ian, and he's waving.
Wait, I'm finding him. Hang on just a second. Oh, hello, dear. Hi, Ian.
Hi, my name is Ian, and this is my question. What is your work schedule like when you're writing?
Oh, what is my work schedule like when I'm writing? Well, I come into my office, I stretch. No, I come in, I really do come into my office here, which is inside my house, around 9:15 in the morning. And then I kind of doodle around with my emails, because after all, I got a lot of books, so I get a lot of emails. And then I usually start I sit down and start writing at around 10:15, and I really do write for about 4 or 5 hours. It depends on what it is. Like today, can you see over my shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
Today, I have the 12th Ivy and Bean book, where I'm about to look at the pages of that and make sure that the illustrations actually go with the text. Okay, that's an important thing to do. I have the revisions I have a rewrite for this book, The Best of Iggy, which is I have to rewrite the 3rd book. And then I'm gonna sit down. If I have any time after that, I have to write. Sometimes I write for adults. I'm very sorry about that, but I do. So then I'm gonna work on a manuscript for that. So that's what my days are like. There's a lot of different books coming and going most of the time, but I do write for about 4 or 5 hours a day. And you wanna know something really great about my job? When I go to the grocery store, or when I'm just kind of sitting around lazing, it still counts. Because I'm thinking, you know, everything I do counts as research. It's totally great.
Oh, awesome. All right, great question. All right, next question. And that would be Kenneth. Mr. Kenneth, wave your hand, Kenneth, so Miss Barrows can see you.
Hi, sweetie.
Hi, my name is Kenneth. What would you say if your most interesting plot twist?
Oh. I mean, in this book.
Yeah.
Okay. What's interesting to me about this book, well, okay, the plot, that you want a plot twist, the glasses, gotta be the glasses. Gotta be that the glasses go in two directions, you know, that the looking through the glass she finds on the wall takes her in one way, and the looking through her own glass takes the other way. But the whole, one of my major problems writing this book was that whole circle of how to get it set up again, you know, so that it would happen, right? Because where are we? We end up in 1935, but it still has to happen in the future, which is the present of the book. My brain kind of overwhelmed on that one. And my husband read it and said, he read a version of this, not the one that you guys have read. He read a draft of this and he said, you know, this doesn't work. And he explained to me that I hadn't set it up properly. And I thought, ooh, that's terrible. I can either kill my husband or I can rewrite this book. And I thought, I really better rewrite this book because kids will certainly notice this. So that's not exactly an answer to your question because it's not really a plot twist. It's not a plot element, but it was the thing I found the most difficult about writing this book.
That's a good point. And what I was really impressed, if I could just interject for a minute, with the children is they were able to follow the book beautifully. They had great predictions. They figured out the glasses. I mean, it was just awesome to hear the thinking. So you led them beautifully down that path.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that, but I'm also impressed because I think this group is a little, I mean, most people who are reading this book are a little bit older than you guys. So you are really good readers. And as I say, that's the key to a really good story. It's not so much what I do, it's what you do.
Oh, that's so sweet. You know, but they're awesome. All right, so next question. That would be Zoe. Can you wave your hand?
Oh, there, Zoe. You're right on my screen. Hi, Zoe.
What is your favorite book that you've written?
Oh my gosh. One moment, please. I'll be right back.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Do you see my problem here?
Yes. Tina, that was amazing.
Yeah, and like, look how cute they are. How could I pick? I can't pick. I can't pick. These are my children. I mean, I love these guys. I love all of them. I even love the books for grown-ups. Oh my God. Jeez. Sorry. I fell over there. They're heavy. I can't pick. I really can't pick. I do have, I mean, you know, I'm not just saying that because you guys are interested in this book. I do have a very special place in my heart for this book because it is the fulfillment of so many of my own personal wishes, like to have a twin and to travel through time. And, you know, even that ladder staircase, that belonged to my best friend when I was a kid. And I was so jealous. I was so completely jealous. And so, you know, I got it in a way through this book. So this was a very gratifying book to me, but I love them all. How can I pick?
That's a perfect answer. Perfect answer. Okay, so I know I want to honor your time, and I think I'm going to give us about.
We can. I don't know where we are in the question roundup, but you kids have prepared really well, and
Are you sure?
I'm here. Yes, this is fine.
Okay,
it's
all right.
I mean, look, I'm writing a book right now, even when I'm talking to you.
Okay. All right, you're wonderful. Thank you. And if you really do need to cut us off, you let us know at any time.
I'll let you know.
Okay, so that was Zoe's question. So the next question is from Raheem. Raheem, can you wave?
Hi, Raheem.
Okay, your question, sir.
Raheem, and what do you like to do when you're not writing?
She's always writing.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna say the most, like, you're gonna go, you call that an answer? Read. Really, I like to read. I like to read a lot, and really, That's why I became a writer, is because I thought that if I were a writer, it would justify all the reading I have always done in my whole life. I mean, I'd love to say something else. Let me try and find something that's not having to do with books that I really like. I like to eat.
Oh, Tina. Tina, you need to talk to Tina, Miss Tina.
I'm sorry. It's books, books, books. I read them, I write them. That's pretty much all I do. It's pretty much all I can do.
That's the perfect answer. And you are filled with a room of readers, obviously.
Yeah, all right. All right.
Beautiful. Okay, next question. Tristan, if you could wave your hand.
Okay, wait. Let me get Tristan. Oh, hi, Tristan.
Hi, my name is Tristan, and my question is, why did you decide to write about the Civil War in the book Magic in the Mix?
Oh, okay. Now, that's a very good question. Mostly, it had to do with something that is not even noticeable in Magic Half, which is that they live in this very specific area of Virginia. Okay, so you don't even notice it when you read the Magic Half. I knew it. I knew where they were, but it's not something a reader gets. But then because where they were, because of their geographical location in that book, I knew where their house was, and where their house was, there was a whole lot of really interesting stuff that happened right in that area during the Civil War. Mm-hmm. And I had to get those brothers in danger, right? How am I going to do that as a writer? What's my ploy? Well, I could have them go out in the middle of the street in the year 2016 and be run over by a motorcycle, but that's not very interesting. That's not what I want. I wanted them to be part of a scene that they didn't understand. And so the Civil War is such an important historical event. And there was exactly what I described in that book was actually happening right there at that time. And I could fit it into this very peculiar piece of history. I think I got more pleasure out of that than I probably should have. And I hope I didn't sacrifice any story for that, but it fascinates me. And it fascinates me. One thing that I always wonder about my obsession with going back in time is, what does a time traveler do to history to change it in the future? And so that was something that I was considering with the brothers and with the Civil War and with those characters in that particular location at that time in 1864.
Wow, that's really cool to know that activity happened in that spot. That's kind of a neat little a little nugget of information that I think it's been a gift for us. So thank you for that. That's really cool.
Certainly. Can I say one other thing about that? Nick Carter, that guy, the bad guy in Magic in the Mix, he was a real guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, yeah.
He was a real guy. He was just as horrible as I described him.
Miss Sarah's the one who read a large part of that book when we started a distance learning, so she's very familiar with that as well.
Yeah, I was going to say they were really interested in learning about the information behind the story and behind all the characters and everything.
It's really something. It is really something. I just went down a complete rabbit hole with the history of that. But I hope it didn't mess with the book too much. But I was so excited.
No, the kids were excited too.
Good.
All right. Next question is Emily. Can you wave, Miss Emily?
Let's see if I can find Emily.
Emily. There she is. I see her now.
Oh, wait, I'm not seeing her quite yet. Hang on just a second.
Okay. Keep waving, girl. Keep waving.
Keep waving. Oh, there you are, darling. Hello.
Okay, Emily, ask your question.
My name is Emily, and here is my question. If you could be a character in Ivy and Bean or Magic Half, which one would you be and why?
Oh, totally easy. Mary, of course. Because she gets to travel in time, and she's a twin, and she, this is all great stuff. I also like her family, and, I was asking my kids a couple weeks ago, I said, so darlings, which one of my characters do you think is the most like me? And there were two of them. One of them is in an adult book that you haven't read, but the other one was Miri. So yeah, I'd definitely be Miri if I could. She gets to travel through time. So cool.
Sounds perfect. Sounds like that. After hearing everything you said, that's the only answer you could have had.
Yeah, no, that's Jeff for sure.
All right, so Katie, you're our next friend. Can you wave?
All right, I'm looking for you, sweetie. Oh, hello, darling.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Katie. This is my question. Does your daughters like your books?
Okay, I regret to report.
I have another question.
Oh, okay. Wait, that's just your first one?
Yeah, that's not just the first one.
Okay, all right. Well, okay. My children were so great when they were little. Like they would listen to my stories, and I would watch them. I would read to them, and if they laughed, we're good. If they went not bad, I had to rewrite. It was great. And then, do you know what they did? They grew up. And now they are totally useless to me because they're in their 20s. They're no good at all. They're completely useless. So no, they were great. And they were, and of course, when you're a writer and you read your books to your children, there is always are they going to say, I hate that, Mom, that's the stupidest book I ever read? Because you do feed them as their mother. I am the person they need. Otherwise, I keep them alive. So they're going to try and be nice to me. But I really did think they were super helpful to me when they were younger.
Right.
All right. You have another question, sweetie? You go.
Does your daughters have a favorite?
Just when they were younger,
Okay.
right?
Okay. If you guys promise not to tell, I will tell you the truth. My daughters are under the impression that Ivy and Bean that they are them. They think that I wrote that Ivy is my older daughter and Bean is my younger daughter. That's what my children think. That is not true. They are delusional. But I think that means that I know that my older daughter loves particularly the book Ivy and Bean Bound to Be Bad. I would say my younger daughter really loves Ivy and Bean No News is Good News, because that is a bit the whole thing about, there's a whole thing about the wax around cheese that really does come from my younger daughter. And then, hang on just a second. Oh, here it is. Then I think my older daughter also really likes this book just because she thinks it's funny. But yeah, the Ivy and Bean books, they really like those because they think it's about them.
That's so cool.
Kinda.
All right, next question. Taylor, can you wave so that Miss Barrows can see you?
All right, I'm gonna look for you now, Taylor.
Keep waving, girl.
Oh, there you are. Hi, Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor, and my question for you is there any background information we don't know of the book Magic in the Mix?
There's always background information you don't know.
They're digging for secrets.
I'm not going to tell you what it is either.
Okay.
Actually, there is one thing. I don't know which edition of the Magic Half you read. Did you guys read the thing about the statistic on the first page being wrong?
Oh, Sarah, do you have the book at your place? Because I think you took the book when we had to go to distance learning. It's been a while.
Well, okay, I'll just read you something
I just
here.
have Magic in the Mix.
Because I say it on the very first page, I say, after all, as Mary's father loved to remind them, only 1 in 8 million families had 2 pairs of twins. Okay, here's a piece of background information. I made that up. It's totally wrong. It is completely 100% wrong. After the book came out with that printed in it, a statistician said, "Oh, that's really cool. Where'd you get that figure?" And I said, "Oh, I made that up." And he said, "That's terrible. You're a children's book author. You've got to tell children the truth." It's like, I don't know the truth. And so he said he got a whole bunch of statisticians together, and the true figure is that 1 in 50,000 families has 2 sets of twins. And as you can tell, 1 in 8 million means that it would be way rarer than 1 in 50,000. So it's actually much more common than I thought it was. So it got fixed in the 2nd edition of the book, but then for reasons I have no understanding of, it got changed back to the wrong figure in the 3rd edition of the book. So it sort of depends which book you read, but there's a background story. There's a
We're gonna have to look.
story.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. But thank you. That's so cool. Now I think we know the answer to this next question, but we're gonna ask it anyway.
Okay.
Ismail, can you raise your hand? Ismail, it's your turn for your question.
All right, wait, I'm coming, I'm finding you.
Not waving. Ismail, can you wave? Ismail, wave. There you go, kiddo.
There you go.
There you go, sir.
I'm thinking of writing another book. My name is Kyle. I'm thinking of writing another book.
Am I going to write another book about Miri and Molly?
Yeah.
Or anything, right?
Oh, I'm always writing another book. I'm writing right now. I'm writing another book about my pal Iggy. That's this guy. I'm writing I'm finishing up a 12th Ivy and Bean book, and I'm writing a book for grown-up people. But I don't know whether I'll write about Miri and Molly again. It sort of depends on whether they show up in another one of my dreams and give me a sad look. But I have a great idea for a book for kids your age that's not with Miri and Molly, but it's this really cool idea, and I really want to write it, but I have to finish all this other stuff I'm working on first.
That's fair enough. All right, we have 2 more questions. And Gloria, your question, I think she already answered, so could you?
See.
Okay, Gloria's question is going to be, if you are considering writing another book in the Magic Half series, so Gloria, you're going to start at, would you consider? Okay, can you wave your hand, Gloria?
I see you, Gloria. Hi.
You're considering writing. Could you considering writing about the Boston Tea Party or having Mary and Molly's dad get a new job that forces them to move? And I like Ivy and B. I have all of that.
Oh, look! I see you have some. Your stack is almost as big as my stack. So you want the Boston Tea Party?
Actually, Carmen wants all of this. So.
Oh, Carmen.
Carmen, she's so demanding.
Yeah. I don't know about the Boston Tea Party. I was thinking, well, really, I shouldn't tell you, but I was thinking more about Indians. I mean, there's some really interesting Indians in that part of the world. I don't know what I'm going to do. I would consider it.
Okay.
I would consider it, put it that way.
Fair enough. And then our final question, and you've been so kind to indulge us in all of our questions, is Roxana. Roxana, can you please wave?
Let me find Roxana. Hi, Roxana.
Hello, my name's Roxana. What is the best part about being an author?
Oh my gosh. It really is such a great job. I can't tell you. I mean, everybody's right now is spending time at home going, oh, I'm so sick of being at home. I'm never sick of being at home. I'm at home all the time, all by myself. And what I do is I get to make up stories. I get to make up stories for a living. People pay me to make up stories. Then after a while, they're turned into books. That's cool. And then what do I get to do? I get to go out and talk to kids about them. What could possibly be bad about this job? There's nothing bad about this job. I mean, the job is fantastic. I guess some people really like to talk a lot, and maybe that would be a problem because there are hours go by, like days go by where I don't talk to anybody because I'm busy writing. But I'm talking to my imaginary friends, my characters. Really, I think it's really hard for me to find something I don't like about this job. I mean, every once in a while I have to go on book tour, and that means I have to buy new clothes, but that's not so bad. I just don't see what could possibly, I don't see why anybody wouldn't want to be a writer. I don't understand why everybody's not a writer. I really don't.
That's born to do it. That's just a perfect answer. Oh, wow. This has been such a joy. And I think Carmen, who authored many of our questions, would like to wrap it up with
Okay,
some
let's go
words
back
from
to
her.
Carmen.
So Carmen, can you wave?
There's Carmen. Hi, Carmen.
Can you unmute Carmen, honey? Carmen, can you unmute and try again? Thank you, dear.
And before that, if Miss Janine allows it, can I state my other idea?
Oh,
Okay.
Carmen.
The great one, like the favorite, big, like favorite one.
Okay.
What if there's another magic house in the same neighborhood and something, and another boy or maybe a girl lives there, and they make a boy since there are already two girls who own the magic house, but he knows it, but he doesn't know there's another one, and they don't know there's another one. So when they go to school, he's like the new boy at school, or like the new girl, and then like they get put in a group to do like a school project or something, and then like they start to get to know each other, and then they both find out that the other guy has a magic house just like their house, but they don't know the other one knows. And then later on they're like, did you know you had a magic house? And they're like, I knew and I knew and I and like and stuff like that.
Okay, that's a great idea. I mean, don't you think it's pretty rare for there to be a magic house though? I don't know if I can, I mean, you can do anything. You're totally right. You can do anything. It's a great idea because it would be great if those houses communicated with each other somehow. Yeah. That the houses themselves are the places of magic and the people,
like maybe somebody long ago took apart Mary and Molly's house and like fixed it up, and then they built another house using the same pieces, and that's why it's magical.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Good storytelling, Carmen.
And can you tell she's one of our authors? She writes prolifically.
I'm getting that drift right there.
All right, Carmen, thank you. You want to wrap it up then, girl? Yes. We know Miss Barrows needs to go.
Thank you very much for your visit. We know you are busy, and we're really grateful that you made time for us. We are very glad you came. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Bye-bye, you guys. Thank you so much.
Miss Barrows. It was such a pleasure. We love you and your book.
Bye.
Okay, we're gonna let her sign out.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
You guys are
We love you.
You guys, that was awesome. That was so wonderful.
Make me cry.
Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna stop us recording.